What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel today. As you can tell by the title, we are here to preview Super Bowl 58, a rematch of Super Bowl 54 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, these teams did face 4 years ago, but both teams are quite a bit different and similar in some ways. Back in Super Bowl 54, back in February of 2020, the Kansas City Chiefs won 31-20, making an incredible comeback, scoring 21 points in the fourth quarter. Mahomes got his first Super Bowl, got his first Super Bowl MVP. Didn't play fantastic, though. 286 yards on 26 for 42, passing with 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Tyreek did have a great game, 9 for 105. Travis Kelce, 6 for 43 and a touchdown as well. Then you flip over to the San Francisco side. It was really their defense that helped lead them. DeForest Buckner getting a sack and a half. Jaquiski Tart and Nick Bosa getting a sack as well as a half a sack for Earl Mitchell. So last time out for the 49ers, which I believe it's also similar this time, even though they have one of, if not the best offenses in the league. I think it's going to be San Francisco's defense in this game if they want to come away and win their first Super Bowl in this Kyle Shanahan era. Now, as we said, in certain ways, both teams are similar and different. Ways in which they're the same, obviously, the main stars for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, mainly the three main stars for them. First San Fran, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. Their defense, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. A lot of similar faces there, but for the San Francisco 49ers, main thing obviously, no longer have Jimmy G at quarterback. They have Brock Purdy, who was one of the favorites with the season he had to win MVP. And then for the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, you have a different set of wide receivers, no Tyreek Hill, as well as some new faces on defense as well. But that's enough of last time they faced off in Super Bowl 54. Moving to Super Bowl 58 today, I think the main sticking point, as I kind of briefly touched on earlier, for San Francisco, if they want to win, I think it's got to be their defense. If their defense is able to get pressure on Patrick, kind of similar to as they were last time, and force him into some mistakes. He got sacked 4 times last time and threw 2 interceptions. If they can force kind of similar pressure and their offense can get rolling with their running game, obviously having one of, if not the best running backs in the league, Christian McCaffrey. So their defense can get pressure on Patrick to get their offense going, specifically with their running game and Christian McCaffrey to open things up for Deebo, George Kittle. Then I think San Fran will have an excellent shot at winning this game. Now on the flip side, for the Kansas City Chiefs, if they want to win this game, I think it's a similar approach to when they played the Ravens 2 weeks ago. It's on offense, just hitting them, dinking them underneath, just kind of dink and dunk, little crossing routes, out routes, whatnot, open the game up, try to get Pacheco going. If you can get Pacheco 70 yards or more rushing to make them, if you can get Pacheco 70 or more yards rushing, I think that'll open things up for the offense as a whole. And then as we saw in the Baltimore game, if Trav can be Trav and be the best tight end to ever play this game, and he was in that game, double-digit receiving, double-digit targets and double-digit receptions. If you can have even a similar performance to that, I think Kansas City has a great shot to win this game and go back-to-back. Also, as well, they've had one of the best defenses in the NFL this year, and specifically, this has been the best defense of the Patrick Mahomes Kansas City Chiefs era. So I think that's something they can lean on. So overall, how I think this game, could play out is I think this is going to be a defensive battle. The over-under right now is currently at 47.5. I would possibly maybe take the under currently. I'm kind of leaning towards the under. I think this could be a, like 21-17 type of game. But obviously, you never know what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. Who's going to step up? These are both offenses that are very capable of going off. Obviously, San Fran, as we said, being one of, if not the best offense in the NFL this year. Kansas City at times struggled this year, but going down the stretch, they really showed up and showed what they can do because, as always, they will always have the best player on the field in Patrick Mahomes. And one, and they will always have the best tight end on the field in Travis Kelce. So right now, San Francisco is favored by 2.5. Now the spread opened up. San Fran favored at 2.5. It has since gone down, at least at what I am looking at, to 1.5. San Francisco spread. San Francisco favored there. Now I did just want to go over a couple. I think I have two in here. Yeah, two best bets, possibly three. I have one in my head. I don't have it here in my notes, but go over a couple bets that I will be placing and that I think have a decent shot of hitting. First, I have a nice 8-legger, but it's an 8-legger that I think has some good potential to hit. Patrick Mahomes, 225 plus passing yards. Travis Kelce, 80 plus receiving yards. Rashee Rice, 50 plus receiving yards. I think he's a sleeper in this game to have a big breakout game. Look at last year. Last year, also, side note, Rashee Rice, anytime touchdown scorer, might be locking that in as well. Last year, if you guys remember, in the Super Bowl, rookie wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, Sky Moore, scored a touchdown. I believe it was his first touchdown in the NFL as well. So keep an eye on Rashee Rice. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 25 plus yards. This hit for me in the Baltimore game as well. I'm putting it in again. Plus money on that too. Christian McCaffrey, 70 plus rushing yards. Pacheco, 70 plus rushing yards. Isaiah Pacheco, over 80.5 rushing and receiving yards. And Deebo Samuel, over 79.5 rushing and receiving yards. That gives you odds of plus 4,633. Throw $4 or $5 on that. You'll get a nice return. And then I always throw one of these, especially on a big game. The anytime touchdown scorer, I always throw 4 in there. Now, this anytime touchdown scoring one that I currently have in my notes, I might actually adjust before the game. I have not locked any of these in yet. These are just kind of what I'm thinking going into the game later today. I got Christian McCaffrey, Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Kelce, and George Kittle. As I said, I think this will be a kind of slugfest type game, low scoring type game. But I think those are all, safe-ish bets, especially given the odds on this plus 1,501 odds on that. Throw $5 on that. But I might switch one of these out, or I might add in a fifth. I might add in a Rashee Rice. If I take one out, I'd probably take out the Pacheco anytime touchdown score. I think Trav's getting in the end zone this game. Something I might lock in as well. This is kind of a, Hail Mary type of thing kind of going on. I think Trav is going to have a big game for Kansas City overall. I believe Kansas City's going to win. Me being someone who always has grown up and always roots for California teams and, likes the Bay Area as well. I like the San Francisco 49ers. I wouldn't be upset if they win. But being someone who likes Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, the Chiefs culture, everything, that they do, I like to pull for them because they always get compared to the Golden State of the NFL. And they're fun to watch. It's hard not to like them, or it's hard to root against them. So I like seeing them succeed as well. But for me personally, I would like to see the Chiefs win more because I think it'll mean more for Patrick, Travis's, Chris Jones, Andy Reid. I think it'll mean more for their legacy if they can go back to back, get 3, and it's more for the debate of Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, being the greatest quarterback of all time, but getting another Super Bowl will help bolster that argument as well. But back on some best bets. As I said, kind of a Hail Mary I'm throwing out there. I'm thinking about throwing in Travis Kelce, 2+ touchdowns, and Chiefs money line. Last time I put it in, that was, if you put $5-10 on that, that was going to have a great payout. So I believe I'm going to lock that in as well. But anyway, I think this is going to be a really good game. I'm hoping for another really good Super Bowl. Was really thinking back on this. I can't remember the last time we had a bad Super Bowl per se. I guess, or should I say, not competitive Super Bowl. The Rams New England Patriots Super Bowl from a couple years ago. You could say that was final score 13-3 in favor of the Patriots. Yeah, you can say that wasn't the most fun offensive explosion type of game, but it wasn't a blowout. I can say, unfortunately, being a Carolina Panthers fan, one of the last ones that was a blowout was Carolina versus Denver. And then before that, it was Denver getting blown out against Seattle as well. So we've been, fortunate with a lot of really good Super Bowls, especially over the last decade. Really only two off the top of my head that, weren't super, that weren't close, and maybe three that weren't entertaining overall. So we've been really lucky. I think this is going to be a really, really competitive and good game as well. So looking forward to tonight, 6:30 CBS. Big one, Super Bowl 58. Will Patrick, Trav, Chris Jones, and Andy Reid get number 3 and go back to back, or will Kyle Shanahan, the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle, will they get there first? Excited to see. We'll be back here to talk all about it tomorrow. But thank you all so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.